Hey guys, welcome to 𝑽𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒆 Awakening. Take a Rocket Chamomile featuring our Sinistcha and the new Team Rocket Spidops combo, discarding up to 3 grass energies from our Pokemon, hitting 70x damage for each card you discarded in this way, with our 𝑠v𝒐𝒐𝒕 attack for 1 grass energy cost. So after the discard, we basically get to reattach those energies back onto our Spidops using its ability, allowing us to do consistent big damage with the 1 energy attack. We also have our Revavroom, Larry's Skill, and Professor's Research to help us discard energies from our hand, along with 3 Ultra Ball and 2 Explorer's Guidance for further discards, helping us play Rebrew with our Sinistcha EX later on in the game, putting 2 damage counter on any one of our opponent's Pokemon for each basic grass energy we have in our discard pile. Next, we've got 1 bug catching set and 1 Hyper Aroma to search for our Stage 1 evolutions, 1 Boss's Order and 1 Counter Catcher for the Gust, 1 Surfer with 1 Switch, 1 Sacred Ash and 1 Super Rod to recycle our Pokemons, 3 Bravery Charm to protect our low HP basics with 14 basic grass energies. So that's all for the deck list. Now let's go for some gameplay and see how well this deck works. Okay, let's go for our first game with Rocket Chamomile. Sinistcha and Sinistcha EX is back in the game with Team Rocket Spidops. Discard recharge, discard recharge. How about that? So we got 14 basic grass energy in this deck. If you have 11 in the discard pile, late game you actually get to place 22 damage counters on one of their benched 𝑺𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒆𝒕, for example, with your Sinistcha EX, or even a benched Mew, 𝑧𝒄𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒂𝑐, whatever they have. Any supports that they are playing on their bench is up for grabs. So we got a potential surprise KO late game with our Rebrew. Since we're not doing a OHKO with our baby Sinistcha, we should be making use of the EX with that 1 redeemable ticket just in case we have it priced to target the right Pokemon for that extra prize. So anyways, now we got our Poffin to bench another Poltchageist and the Varoom for us to evolve on the next turn. We got our Revavroom in hand along with the Sinistcha, and we just need 1 Tarountula early game just because we can attach the second energy from our hand just before we attack, since we are required to evolve before we can do our 𝑠v𝒐𝒕 for 210 base damage. You do have to attach the energy every single turn from your hand though. If you discard 3 energies, that means you have no more energy for your next turn on your Sinistcha. And if they play Iono, the main allergy for this deck, I feel like we need a Mew EX, is if they play Iono at the right time to kind of just empty your hand of energies. You can't play Revavroom's ability if you don't have any basic energy in your hand. If you don't top deck into a Larry or any useful supporter cards, you may just get stuck from their Iono. But that only happens really late in the game though, once you have 2 or 1 prize remaining, and I feel like even then we should be fine just because we just need that 1 energy or that 1 evolution for us to play Rebrew, and then we can basically shuffle back all those grass energies into the deck. We are shuffling back though, so that means you can't actually play your Night Stretcher. We don't have Night Stretcher, we do have Sacred Ash and the Rod with Ultra Ball to dig for the evolution, with Larry as well to re-evolve our Sinistcha. If we get the combo to shuffle back the Pokemon and then re-evolve on a single turn, we could actually play Rebrew a second time, but then you have to be careful because if you play Rebrew a second time, that means you have to discard all of your energies from scratch, and you might not have enough time to do that, you know? I feel like we should be only aiming for 1 Rebrew per game, just because if we shuffle back all energy into the deck, it would take a while before we have enough in the discard pile, before we can discard enough energies for us to place enough damage counter for our second KO with our second hit using the EX. So just make sure you have enough basic grass in your discard pile before you actually use Sinistcha EX to target their bench Pokemon for the KO. Make sure you can actually do a KO with that attack, is what I'm trying to say, because you only have 1 shot, you know? So now we're gonna attack with our baby Sinistcha, doing Curse Drop instead of 𝑠v𝒐𝒕, just because we have enough damage counters to take out their Applin on the bench. I don't think we should take out the Ogerpon just yet. Let's just target their baby Pokemon before it evolves into the Hydreiple. because we're drawing only one prize anyways. Might as well conserve our energy since we didn't actually get our rocket Spidops. So Spidops couldn't evolve for some reason. We didn't draw into our bug catching set, Ultra Ball, or Hyper Aroma. I think we got Explorer's Guidance and couldn't evolve still, which is a bit bizarre. And now we got Jack from the prize, so I think we're playing a little bit of a different list for this game. Eventually, we removed the Jack for another Larry or another Explorer's Guidance, I can't remember. But Larry actually fits in really well with our Revavroom just because you get, all you need is the Pokemon and the energy, right? You could actually choose not to get the supporter as well. If you get the supporter though, it could actually help you on the next turn. So Larry is actually pretty cool, although I would argue that you should be allowed to search for any energy with that supporter. Since you are discarding your entire hand, why not search for a Pokemon supporter and any energy from your deck? Why is it just basic energy? It would have so much more potential for deck building if you get to search for your special energy as well with Larry's skill. But yeah, it's a bit depressing because if you had to discard your hand, if you're not benefiting from the discard, if you're building a deck that does not require energies to be in the discard pile or Pokemons to be in the discard pile or your supporters in the discard pile, then I don't think it's healthy to be playing Larry's skill. It's not really a card that works for every deck is what I'm trying to say. And it could actually be a lot more versatile if you are allowed to search for your reversal, for your Neo Upper with your Larry skill. Like, how neat would that be? But oh well, at least we're getting 𝑘𝒂𝢢𝒄𝒂𝒓𝒄 set. 𝑘𝒂𝢢𝒄𝒂𝒓𝒄𝒂𝒓 allows you to search for an evolution and an energy. So I think, let's hope that's gonna be helpful when it gets released for Black and White, Black Bolt White Flare. Anyways, we got our Super Rod to shuffle back our Poltchageist. It only has 30 HP, so against Monkey Dory, it's pretty bad. That's why we have 3 Bravery Charm. Lively Stadium doesn't really work as well. If they play like Jamming Tower, your Lively Stadium gets cancelled out. Your Bravery Charm gets cancelled out, so gotta be careful with the Stadium card. I don't think many decks play Jamming Tower though, except maybe Dragapult. If they do a Dragapult, they can't actually place damage counter on your Poltergeist on the bench. If they play Dragapult with Monkey Dory though, it could actually be pretty bad. But if they play Dragapult without the Dory, you should be safe since Poltergeist has the ability that protects itself from any damage counter placement with effects of attacks, from any damage on the bench with effects of attacks. Sort of like the new Magikarp, Misty's Magikarp, not just any Magikarp. Yeah, that Magikarp cannot actually evolve into the Gyarados EX, which is a bit weird if you ask me. Trainer's Pokemon will always remain a mystery in my books. Not sure about what other people think, but it'll always be questionable in my opinion. So we got our second and third prize by taking out the Ogerpon. Now we just need to target, we just need the boss and the Sinistcha, right? The EX. If we can place damage counter, if we have enough energy in the discard pile for us to place 22 damage counter on the Ogerpon, or if we boss the Ogerpon EX, knock it out with our second baby Sinistcha, our second 𝑺𝒊𝒐𝒍𝒆𝒕, we could actually target their Yanma or the baby Ogerpon. For the last KO, they're probably going to evolve the Yanmega though, so I don't think the Yanma is going to stay there for too long. If we can't pull out our boss on the next turn, no worries, we just need to hit the Hydrapple twice in a row. 420 minus 30, they can heal 30 damage. So 420 minus 30 is still enough damage to take it out. We just need to target the same Pokemon with our boss, or even use Rebrew to place damage counters on the Hydrapple on the bench. So there are a lot of ways to victory for this game. We could actually play the boss a lot later than we think for the final prize draw. So we're gonna evolve our Sinistcha and do 𝑺𝒊𝒐𝒕. Wait out for the boss. I'm not sure why I'm taking so long to decide which Pokemon to put as the new active. I think we wanted to try playing the Spidops. The Spidops could actually do 90 damage with the Rocket Rush if we could bench another Tarountula or Articuno. We actually have Articuno for this game as well. Eventually I decided to remove the Articuno for another Bravery Charm. Yeah, but that's actually gonna reduce the amount of damage that you could do with your Rocket Rush, which isn't really that great. But then I don't think we have the space for Articuno, you know? I feel like it's actually just better to stack on the HP boost with our tool card rather than playing the Articuno against Dragapult EX. Because remember, we just need one Tarountula in play early game for us to, and then we can slowly stack on the evolutions. But then if you bench it late though, they're probably going to take it out with their Phantom Dive. So I'll just leave you guys to decide whether to play Articuno or the extra charm. You know, you have the autonomy to choose what to play, to change the deck list according to your preferences. But for me, I'm gonna stick to my guns with the third Bravery Charm. Anyways, I think I'm just gonna end the voiceover right here and leave you guys to focus on the game. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you find this combo interesting, drop comments down below about your favorite Team Rocket's Pokemon from Destined Rivals, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks for joining us, have a great day, and bye everyone!